Hey, we got something fun today. We have Death! Actually, it's the Grim Reaper from Moebius Models. Or as I'm going to just call him, Death from Discworld. Yeah, so we got a big old Grim Reaper kit here. And actually, what scale is this? 9 inches tall. Doesn't have an exact scale on it. But there he is. So yeah, we're going to build this. I'll say right now, there's some issues I have with mostly have with plastic kits. Why I never really built figure plastic kits, because they tend to be kind of cartoony, as we can tell by our little palm fronds here look rather ridiculous. So that's the one issue we're going to go through when building this, is how realistic I want to make this. Do we want to keep it a cartoony look, or we want to spice it up a bit? And I'm trying to find a balance between the amount of work I have to put into this with and still make it good. So getting that out of the way right now. The kit itself is magically almost completely put together. Actually, I've already been building it, and I was just going to stop and once most things were built, when I had something worthwhile to say. Instructions are fairly simple. Oh, and I just got plastic fluff all over me. There's about 30 or so odd parts here. One sheet of instructions. And I got the main assemblies all built, and now we have to do a whole lot of gap filling. That's why I turned the camera on now, because all the pieces here, they're all rounded. The seam lines don't line up on, ideal end points, corner points. We're gonna have a lot of filling and a lot of sanding to do. Also, the robe here has a texture to it, which means when we fill it, we're going to get smooth spots, which is going to be a bit of a pain when we go to paint it. So I'll have to cover this up with a thicker type of primer. So we got the robe here. Let's just start with the robe, because I have a lot of things I need to say here. Well, not the robe itself, but where should we start? The cowl. The cowl was the biggest pain in the butt, because you got the hood here, and you see I got paint on here because I had to trim away a whole bunch because I could not get this to sit flush. It was kind of hovering above, and I kept trimming and trimming and trimming, trying to figure out what was preventing the hood from coming all the way down. And so I trimmed off quite a bit, and I got it down a little bit further. Also on the hood, we have a whole bunch to fill in here. Some of this will get covered by the head, but the hood probably went together the worst. Huge gaps here, and really didn't fit that well, which might explain why this is not fitting on too well. We got a nice two-piece side here, and that's going to be a real fun seam line to clean up. No wood grain on this, which is kind of okay, because painting a wood grain would actually be more realistic to scale rather than having gouged in wood grain. We also have the tree here. I have one more branch to put on. A lot of gaps on this, so this is going to be a bit of a pain to fill. This is the one thing I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. I would really like to replace this with a real piece of wood, find some root in a similar shape that I can use instead. More realistic wood, look more realistic. However, trying to find a root that fits, I don't have anything. I have a supply of roots that I use for projects, nothing this big though, so I don't know if I could find something that would fit with this project, but I have some other ideas. We may be able to spice this up. And what else do we have? We got the terrible looking pond fronds. We're not going to use these. We're going to find something else. We have the base that everything goes on. Again, this is going to get covered up with something else. Actually, yeah, I guess we'll leave this here because there's this one tomb or gravestone here that's flat. I think we'll leave that in. I was thinking just for a moment of cutting it off, because I'm going to cover this whole thing with putty and redo this entirely. Actually, we could just skip this, now that I think about it, and use my own custom base. Maybe we'll do that. I'll think about that one. And then I haven't worked on this yet, but this is a clear piece for the Hourglass. And I'm just noticing that you know what, let's open this right now, because I just noticed something a little upsetting. Yeah, the Hourglass has a big peg going down the center to attach it. So that is going to be very, very obvious once you put it together. That means I have to paint the clear styrene. That really sucks. Just seeing if there's anything on here. Wow, why would you do that? That's awful. They could have just not even had the pegs there and let you glue in the glue it on the edges. But no, look at that. That's terrible. May have to find a replacement for that, because that's going to look freaking awful, especially from the sides. Look at that. How are you supposed to keep that clear with the big old tube going down the center? Hourglasses do not work that way. Well, that's disappointing. And there's a few other odds and ends in here. So right now I'm going to start on the gap filling stage, which is going to take several days of filling and sanding and repeating and repeating. One thing I want to comment on, this kit stinks. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, odorous. It literally stinks. There is an incredibly strong chemical smell coming from this kit that I have never experienced from a kit before. It actually gives me a bit of a headache. So yeah, this plastic, I have no idea. I haven't even found this on a Moebius kit before or any other kit before, but I don't know if it's just mine or what. But yeah, this, I wish that, YouTube would install smell-o-vision, because you gotta smell this. It's got a real strong chemical smell to it. So that's also causing me to only work on this on occasion, because the odor really does get to me. So anyway, let's pull out some pieces and close this damn stinky box, and I'll start filling gaps and we'll see what happens next. So the first stage of putty and sanding is done. We got a lot more stages to go through here, but wanted to show you some of the issues I'm having with this kit. Fit issues. Very, very poor fit issues. The hood, you can see right here, or maybe if I can hold it that way, if you can see the big gap, you can see where the hood is supposed to fit onto the rest of the robe. Huge gaps there, and they were a lot bigger, and I had to trim away a lot of plastic to get it down this far, but you can see there's a pretty significant one right there that needs to be filled. It's one of those, because there's such a large surface area, it's hard to figure out what was blocking it, so I was just trimming down plastic underneath here as much as I could to try to get it down as far as I could. So yeah, that's a problem. Also, the arm is not quite in the correct position, because I had to move it down a little bit to get the hood even more in place. So that's going to get filled with a bunch of epoxy putty. I can shove it in there from this angle using a sculpting tool. Another way to do it would be, I could have put the epoxy putty on first and then put the hood on, but I already had enough material blocking the hood, so I didn't want to block it with epoxy putty, not knowing what was catching. And then also, I was just test fitting the skull for kicks here, and the skull doesn't fit. You have the 2 pins here and 2 pins there, and I can't even remotely get them to line up. So yeah, this has a lot of issues there. There's like a good 1/4 of an inch gap between where the pin is supposed to go in and where it currently is. So gonna have to snap these off and just glue it in flat. At least that's an easy fix. But other than that, yeah, a lot of general gap filling. Hard part is doing the inside of the sleeves here. That was a pretty significant gap, and trying to scrape all the putty away after applying it's pain in the butt using different wax carving tools. Kind of have to get in there and scrape it away as best you can. Eventually I'm going to cover this with a nice Mr. Hobby dissolve putty or something to help cover up a little bit this mess. And I didn't even notice that earlier. I have some little mold injection marks here in there that I'm going to have to scrape off. Apparently it's only on that arm and not the other one. So lots of things to fix. Okay, it's been just a few seconds for you, but it's actually been a few months for me. I got sidetracked on a few other projects while I was sourcing different parts for this one, and I kind of forgot about it. Mainly I was trying to find a new Hourglass because I didn't want to use the one that came in the kit with the horrible plugs in the center, and I could never find one that I really liked. I found some trinket ones that weren't the right size, and then I found some real jewelry ones which are way too expensive. So at the moment I'm trying to see if I can get this one to work, and I've been cleaning out those little center pegs using this little doohickey, which I've been using quite a bit lately. This was sent to me. This is a David Union Optimum Handy router. Basically it's a little miniature Dremel moto tool type thing, and I kind of scoffed at this at first because when I got it I realized I kind of already reviewed one of these. This is the exact same thing, it looks the exact same way, acts the exact same way as a $15 nail polisher, which actually I reviewed many years ago that nobody remembered and even I forgot about. So I thought this was a kind of a waste, but actually it seems to be a bit better quality than that, and I've been using it quite a bit. It's a nice handy little tool. I got a steel cutter in there right now, and you can very easily grind away plastic or what have you as needed. And it comes with various size bits. I kind of like it. Cost about $100. It is a bit pricey for a little mini moto tool, especially when you can get the nail polish ones for about $20. But that one I did have problems with actually getting that to work, and so far this has been pretty reliable. You know, I've used it about half a dozen times. So there you go, little David. This is David 360 Elite David Union. I don't know why it's called David Union, but there you go. You can find them on Amazon and a few other places. So I've been using this to clean out the centers of these things, and I just started, and I need to go in there with a few different router bits and try to sand away all the scratches I'm putting in it right now. But so far, I mean, it did a pretty good job of getting those bits out. Let me turn that off before I grind it in my hand. So that's the situation from there. The base, we are going to throw away the original base, and I'm using this one instead. I had to salvage this from another work in progress project, so something else is going to be needing a new base, because the ones I bought at the store, I found one that was smaller than this, and I found that one was bigger than this, but this is the right size. It's slightly smaller than the base, but it fits everything fairly well. Also, I can never find a replacement root that can match this tree, so we are going to be using this little cartoony tree, especially since I went with a slightly smaller base. Trying to find a root that would fit everything and still leave room there would be a bit difficult. So we're going to put the gravestones on here. May just go for one, just for spacing reasons, and then we'll do a lot more detailing on the base when that time comes. So I normally try to keep the build portion of these to like one video, and then the other part two, the painting. However, we have a lot more work to do build wise, and I may add a few other accoutrements to here we will see. So yeah, tune in soon for that. Hopefully we'll continue to work on this project and get some plastic built.
I want to decide who lives and who dies.
Oh, I don't know.
Hello, I am Death, destroyer of model kits.